Hoopla, and welcome to my Let's Play of Star Trek Online with my KDF Tactical Officer. This is part 92, and we're about to undertake the mission Tenebris Torquent, where when we left off, we've just finished my favourite mission of the entire game, Quark's Lucky 7, where we have recovered the sword of Khaless, but it was stolen by Hur'q. But before he stole it, quote unquote stole it, we managed to locate the homeworld of the Hur'q, Hur'q. Now we're on our way to go and pop over there and see what we can find out about the Hur'q, and if there's any vital information they left behind, or if they're still there. So I'm going to howl for the mission, then we will get this show on the road. Now, if you're playing this mission, I'd recommend that you do have your EV suits available, because you need them. The game will provide you with them, but if you can just put them on before you go down, it makes it a lot more easier for you. So let's get the mission. Here we are. Tenebris Torquent.
Researchers led by my friend Dr. Bashir have isolated several fascinating aspects of Hur'q biology. I'm told this data provides insight on their native environment, specifically a metallic planetoid orbiting a pulsar within a nebula. There's one system that meets these requirements, Hur'q in the Gamma Quadrant. I'm going there to investigate along with Captain Kira in the Defiant. Dr. Bashir will accompany us as well. His insight will be critical to the mission's success. The doctor believes we'll find what we need to end this conflict on Hur'q. If he's right, and he often is, I'm willing to travel to the heart of enemy territory. Won't you join us? Be seeing you.
And there is Garrick's fleet. Let's begin. You need EV suits because Hur'q planet is in the middle of a pulsar. Beautiful things now.
I have to say, the survey reports on this system really don't do it justice. The nebula, the pulsar, dark energy, and the Hur'q homeworld.
I'm not reading any Hur'q ships on sensors.
Nor I. Isn't that strange? One would think they'd place a heavy guard on their home system. How peculiar. Let's use this opportunity to look around. Quietly, of course.
Agreed.
We're reading a number of interesting phenomena, despite interference from the nebula. Let's see. Plethora of heavy metallic compounds. A hotbed of tetryon and thermobaric energy throughout the nebula. A fitting birthplace for a future star.
There's a moon nearby. Preliminary scans aren't showing much, but it's just the kind of place the Hur'q could be using to hide a base. Or a fleet. I'd like to take a closer look.
Let's move in.
The pulsar's throwing off a lot of hazardous energy.
Most astute, Captain. Let's make the appropriate shield adjustments.
I don't like this. Scans are showing a lot of bare rock, but no metals or compounds. It's a lot like...
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Hur'q, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps we should send down a probe, just to be absolutely sure. There could be some Hur'q down there, hidden by the nebula's effect on our senses.
I'll send a probe in.
barely Class D. No metals, complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Hur'q patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
The probe is online transmitting. Our science teams are taking a close look at the incoming data. It doesn't look terribly promising. Shall we forge on? There's a lovely planet nearby, no doubt filled with a bounty of toxic rocks and metallic salts.
Maybe. Set course for the planet. I imagine that planet is Hur'q.
Entering scanning range now.
You mean I'm entering the scanning range, not like you're scanning it. I'm scanning this.
Astronomic readings are strange. The planet has a highly eccentric orbit. Looks like it collects matter from the nebula as it sweeps around the pulsar, all while being bombarded with radiation. Definitely not habitable by most standards, though it's not quite demon class. An orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Hur'q life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergencies of Hur'q. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
Has anyone not told him about the data that we found at the ancient Dominion station? Because we knew this. We held the logs from the founder. He told us that they found them, and then 1,000 years later they would pop back and they removed the food.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Hur'q. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there.
That's what's in the Defiant. Excuse me. Let me dim into you.
I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV suit before you beam down. We have some in that container for you to use. Once you're suited up, we'll beam you down to the secure zone. It's just below the planet's surface, in a large cavern area.
Okay. I'll activate your own. So, the Doctor is a hologram, so she doesn't need one, so only Hur'q, LSLF, and Kagan and me need a... So I need one. LSLF needs one. And Kagan needs one. Oh yeah, and that useless tit. And activate. Let's be down to the surface. This chamber appears to be a natural cavern, but readings show unusual energy and a lot of magnetized metals and salts not far from here. Some of the caves near here have a regular structure, like they were dug out rather than naturally occurring. Maybe the Hur'q have something like an ant hive. Let's check the Curious Away team and see how they're progressing. Before I do that, let's swap you out for that. Let's talk with Crewman Williams.
I should have a habitation area set up soon. We can replace the reducing atmosphere in this cavern with standard oxy-nitro, and it'll warm things up a bit. Kane's keeping watch, and Weir is looking into other connected areas. We should have a perimeter field up within a few minutes.
Carry on with it. Shimura.
Reading a lot of background radiation and some wild magnetic fields. It's like the pulsar and the nebula are supercharging the metallic crystal compounds here. The environment's very different from anything we'd consider a habitable planet. Explains why the Hur'q are so alien. Quite a treasure for a geologist like myself.
Carry on, Shimura. Have a bit of fun.
Everything's in order here. Define, do you still have a lock on us?
Affirmative. If you need transport, there may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder. Up there!
Welcome to Hur'q Call.
Glad you're still with us. Whatever that was must have left you for dead. I'd get moving in case it comes back to make sure. Looks like you're in a series of tunnels that connect to a larger cavern. Garrick and Bashir are close to your position. They're moving into a large open chamber. Try to make your way to them. Be careful. Some of the crystal formations down there are emitting intense amounts of energy. We can't lock on to anyone with transporters, and the others are reporting that directed energy weapons won't work.
Understood, Captain.
This is Bashir. Garrick and I are alive, but we're a little lost.
Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber. The creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
Garrick and I are moving into a very large, oblong chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make it.
Looks like the door to the next chamber is locked.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal node are interesting. It's generating a localized magnetic field. Manipulating that field could cause a response similar to pushing a button or flicking a switch. I wonder, do you think Hur'q can sense magnetic fields similar to sharks on Earth?
Let's stay on point, Doctor.
Yes, of course. I think you'll find a way to manipulate that magnetic field to open the door. The morphogenic crystals are probably the keys. So look for one nearby that has a similar output to the door node.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak. It probably isn't usable. That one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest. That's the one you need. Use it to open that door.
And get ready to run. Right as a Lost Ark style. Do 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 do. Run, 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 run. Although I'm a big bulky
There's a deep crevice ahead of you. See if you can get across. Hazardous energy and anti-gravity ahead. Use your thrusters. The creature's turned back. Must not like anti-gravity. Slow and steady, don't get lost. Try to head up when you can.
Garrick and I have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze.
Receiving
Not sure how to get out.
From the console.
Ishimura here.
Analyzing
My nav system's
There's a lot of
useless.
historical data. and
I'll keep trying to find you
cultural
all.
references in there. The short version, the Hur'q used to be a peaceful species. There's talk of a great betrayal and some kind of epidemic. Then the entries just turn into gibberish. This one looks like technical data. Interesting. None of their starships had weapons until 2,000 years ago. Their first designs were way ahead of most species at that time, though. Huh. How did they go from geniuses to the ravenous eating machines we're dealing with now?
We know how. The founders. Am I the only one on that mission?
Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out. Bashir and Garrick are just past this chamber. We're picking up some interesting tech on sensors. Interesting and old. Very old. Most of it predates the Federation by several centuries. Are you reading those energy patterns on the other side of that opening? They're far more intricate than the others we've seen. We think there's some kind of ship ahead of you. It shows signs of damage. You might be in some sort of dry dock or repair facility. Interesting. There are large gaps in tech level between each section of the facility. It's as if the Hur'q learn as they hibernate. They wake up with 1,000 years of advancements at hand and get ready to work.
This console looks like I can operate the door here. Good to see you, sir. Got the same place set up. Trust you to be the only one who survived. Hur'q?
A pleasure to see you. We'll need all the help we can get if we're to leave this world alive. To that end, the good doctor and I have started to make sense of our surroundings. We seem to be in some sort of Hur'q command center. From here, we can begin to restore power in critical systems.
Hur'q technology is driven by electromagnetic manipulation of morphogenic crystals. Doors, life support, everything, even their central computer. If we can find the right crystals, I can bring things back online. We can look for information on Hur'q biology within their data system. We might even find a cure here. I found a little information. This planet used to be rich in a type of fungus. It thrived in the harshest of environments, even areas high in pulsar radiation. It used to be a staple of the Hur'q diet until it disappeared from the ecosystem. Without it, the Hur'q began to suffer from a severe type of malnutrition. It led to a number of neurological disorders, many of which we've seen firsthand.
Yeah, well, that was the founders where they removed it.
Based on these readings, there should be more data storage units in the tunnels beyond this chamber. They're the ones by the door with the blue glow rods. One more thing. Some parts of the tunnels still have malfunctioning gravity systems. You should be able to navigate through them, but the energy fields in there will nullify your weapons, so be careful.
I'll get some of those storage crystals. That's a lift.
Oh, good. You made it. We were about to leave with... No! No!
What's going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined.
Come, face death, creature.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Personal shield losing power. Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
Well, bugger that. That went well. It beat the snot out of me.
That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Hur'q and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
So you do know about the Hur'q meeting, do you?
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
Like a fucking alien, this, isn't it?
My god. The enzyme the Hur'q need is a precursor to Ketracell.
Come! Face death, creature! Come on! You are unworthy of being killed by a glorious Klingon! Gorn-ish. Come on.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Pretty sure there's the remains of that bloke's up here somewhere. That's wrong, wait.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here before...
Come!
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Of course it did. It has no honor.
The Hur'q tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed.
Up there or what? No, not gonna let me up now, okay. Go on then, Gargan, let's go. Wait. You can stay there all you want, mate. That's what you want to do. Knock yourself out.
That's Kane's helmet. I have a feeling we won't find the rest of him.
Nicely done. We should be able to translate Hur'q data files and run a detailed analysis of them at a greatly accelerated rate now. I have a good friend in Starfleet engineering that would love to spend some time with this technology. The Hur'q have made some remarkable advances in their time. Ah, the first results are in. Excellent. I have access to a few critical systems, including gravity and power generation. Bringing them online now. That should make things go a little smoother. I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment to process it. Well, this is not good. It's a record of the fall of the Hur'q civilization at the hands of the Dominion. For some reason, the Dominion removed the fungus from the ecosystem during a Hur'q hibernation cycle. Military conquest, most likely. This is what drove the Hur'q to madness.
Actually, it was to try to turn them into a military cadre, but obviously you haven't read them in there.
It appears we have some uninvited guests.
You're a long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Ah, traveling incognito?
One of her many covert identities, I suspect.
This expedition of yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Hur'q infestation.
And your role in it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Hur'q were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying the Hur'q biology, I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor?
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Jem'Hadar.
I think I've heard enough. I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this...
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
You would kill another founder?
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you against the wall.
Odo, this is getting out of hand.
Stop this now!
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
What now?
You forced my hand. This is a modification of your own Hur'q lure. As we speak, every Hur'q in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam. I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld. Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
Ow. That hurt. Quantity,
That's
quality.
Now that we have restored operations here, our ships will be able to lock onto us with transporters. I suggest we take advantage of this while we can.
You did this. All of you. You killed a god. My god. My beautiful founder. Gone forever. I loved her so. And now you pay the price. Guards!
Enough, Wayun. All of you, stand down.
No! You betrayed her! And the Dominion! I will carry out her final order!
That founder is no more, Wayun. This founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no founder! She was a founder! He is a traitor! Guards! Shoot to kill! All of them!
Belay that order.
What?
We do not serve you, Vorta. Where this founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend.
Fine. Then I'll do it myself.
Take Wayun into custody and return to your ship. We have business at the homeworld to attend to.
That was fun. Not so much for her, but fun for me.
Tell me, was it part of your plan to draw every Hur'q in the sector to this system, Garrick? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
We're right behind you, Captain.
Try to hold them all. See if I can arrange the distraction.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
They're breaking off. They've received the signal. Founder home. I think we're in the clear. The Hur'q have departed for the Founder homeworld. It will take them some time to reach it, even at maximum warp. We should make the most of that time and bring an end to this madness. The information that the good doctor found should do just that. For now, let's return to our respective fleets and prepare for the next and hopefully final steps of this journey.
Thanks to Garrick, my homeworld is under siege. I realize there's not a lot of love lost to the Founders these days, but if the center of the Dominion falls to the Hur'q, the rest of the galaxy will soon follow suit. If you're willing to stand with us one last time, assemble your forces and rendezvous with my fleet in the Gamma Quadrant. I hope to see you there before it's too late for all of us.
Well, but it's not I have to. To be continued! And that's true. Oh, it's damn true. That, unfortunately, will be continued in part 93. Yeah.
There's a certain poetic symmetry at play here. The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course, our work is just beginning. We need to formulate a cure for the Hur'q before they devastate every system in the quadrant. Hopefully, we can achieve this lofty goal before they make a meal of the Dominion. Then again, science is often a lengthy, perilous process. I'm certainly glad to put Havas Kul behind me. Small, dark passages are not a passion of mine.
So we'll have there. And with that, that is the end of Tyrion's Torquent. Oh, we've found out more. We've actually learned what we already knew from the previous episode. Well, previous one before Quark's thing, when we went to the Dominion thing, but kind of like the obviously the information we discovered that wasn't passed down, or what Bashir's an idiot, but then he has higher intelligence. But yeah, well. But with that, that's the end of part 92. We shall return in part 93. Home, which is the last mission thing, and then we were doing some major discovery stuff, and then Jalula's discovery. On the Big 82, please subscribe, comments are always welcome, and I will see you in part 93. The end of the Gamma Quadrant story arc. Thank you very much for watching. Ciao.
Treacherous Ciao for now.